And now, independent and unbiased, here's your weekly Brooklyn market update with Noah and John from UrbanDigs.
Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are from UrbanDigs, and it is Monday. So you're going to get your Brooklyn weekly market update, Johnny. Let's get started right over here. I'm starting to hear some anecdotal things that both Manhattan and Brooklyn are starting to percolate, but it is too soon to see that data. It takes weeks to get it. For now, Johnny, supply 2,895. Show me that chart.
Yeah, there's not a lot of percolation happening in supply. Supply is down 0.1%. So you look at Brooklyn supply overall, and that level is, it's higher than I suppose it was earlier in the month, but it's still a lackluster level of supply here.
Yeah, and that's gonna mute the downside. It's gonna keep buyers frustrated. It's gonna keep this market tight. We're gonna have to see where this plays out because we're still early in the listing season. But let's go over to demand, see what's going on over there, because again, it's early. Pending sales, 1,455 things. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, does supply say lackluster? Pending sales says holds my beer. It's down 3% and just ticking down farther. So all of those contracts that were signed, those deals that were signed in mid-22 are out of that, are phasing out, and we still have yet to phase in the early 2023 sales here. But, we still have a month to go before those will at least impact this number at any kind of meaningful way.
Yeah, and the next coming weeks and months, Johnny, will definitely move this market in one direction or another. We will see how it plays out. And I just want to point out, if I go to the market pulse, hey buyers, we put out a note to sellers last week that we need inventory, right? You're showing that we need inventory, but buyers, your leverage for the first time has dipped into buyers market. For the first time in this cycle. We dipped down, Johnny, but we didn't quite get to buyer's market territory. Now we are, because of the listings that are starting to come on. And this is the first time since end of 2020 that we're in this tech. So buyers, are you noticing that there's a slight leverage advantage for you? How long does that window stay open? I don't know. I expect this to go up, Johnny. And if I go to the weeklies, and start looking at this, you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's start with supply, 173 things. That's definitely ticking up. Johnny, show me that chart.
And that is exactly why we're getting that tick down in the market pulse, because those weekly supply numbers are starting to come in. Now, 173 is a good number. It's certainly higher than it was last week, but it's not the highest we've seen this year, and it's still below where we've been in the last couple of years. So normally this should be around at least 200 or so, and then starts rationing up around a 300 number into the peak. So this number still has some room to grow.
Yeah. And you know what? We made a call last week. We think that this is going to be a light listing season. We don't expect a whole mass of listings to come on. Some sellers are questioning if they're going to get their bid, so that may keep them on the side. Some sellers rented. So expect it to be tight, and that's going to mute this whole thing. Let's look at contract signed, Johnny, on a weekly pace. I'm looking at 95 listings. That's ticking up as well, but not nearly as fast as the new listings. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, you said it yourself. No, it's a muted number, right? So even though it's up on the week before and it's higher than a couple of weeks, is well below where it was last couple of years, really. We were doing 200 deals in Brooklyn this time a couple of years ago. So fast forward, mark your calendars. What is it, February 6th or so? So, hopefully by a month or so, we'll be at that number. But, if this is a low listing season, it could also be a low deal volume season. So we may not get to previous year's averages. So we may be doing in the mid 100s at peak here.
Yeah. And you know what? That's what it's all about. It's all about that deal volume pace, Johnny, that deal volume pace. Are we low? Are we where we should be in the mid sector? Are we high? And, to figure that out, you're going to go to 1 month. You're going to look at that contract signed 360 1-month pace, which is down, by the way. It's down. You can see listings are up. Pace is down. And we have a new chart, Johnny, that's going to be coming out for all your premium UrbanDigs users very soon. We are working on it, and it's called our liquidity pace chart, and it is taking that 30-day number and it's putting it to scale so you can see, are we low liquidity, are we high liquidity? And yes, we are low. So sellers, you're listing into a tight inventory. Nobody's denying that inventory is going up, but it's tight. But you're also listing into a much slower liquidity market, Johnny.
Yeah, exactly right. And when you look at that market pulse chart, which is down in buyer's market territory, and you layer it on top of this, you get the sense that this may be a buyer's market in name only, because even if you're going out there, there's not a lot of liquidity, there's not a lot of supply right now. So I still say there's a bit of a buy signal in Brooklyn right now, simply because of that low liquidity. However, it's still tough. It's still just a tough market.
Well, what do you say? You're basically saying buy when it's a buyer's market and liquidity is low, and the opposite of that would be sell when it's high liquidity, and the pulse is high. That's exactly right. It's just some buyers probably don't feel it, but according to this data, this is a buy signal and you are in the buy zone. So we'll keep an eye on it, Johnny. We'll see what happens here. But that is John Walkup, and thank you, Johnny, for pulling up all those charts. I am Noah Rosenblatt. We're both from UrbanDigs. Don't forget, you guys got questions, we got answers. Please visit our forum right over there. And if you want any of the charts that John whipped up, they'll be right over here in just a few moments. Other than that, this has been your weekly Brooklyn market update, and we'll catch you next time.